Hey, what's up dudes? My name is Peroz. Welcome back to more tutorials and things. Today we're going to be talking about rotoscoping. So rotoscoping can be used for a lot of things, but today we're going to focus on what it can do for your Call of Duty montages, which is more or less cutting out things like your character in cinematics, the sky in clips and cinematics, and the gun, which is the main thing people use it for. So cutting out things like the gun can give you a depth of field, or let you just apply effects only to the gun or only to the background, which could be pretty handy. You can do some cool stuff with it, man. I'm trying to think of a mum joke, but I can't, so we'll just get into it.
Alright boys, Rotoscoping 101. So Rotoscoping has become a lot easier over time, just like your mum over time has become a lot easier. Okay, so rotoscoping is, it has become easier over time as, you know, the technology has gotten a lot better. If you're using Rotoscope 3.0, which is on After Effects 2023 and above, I believe, it is a lot better at recognizing what you're actually trying to cut out. I've done this in such a way that it will come up with some of the errors that you might run into, so we can fix them here as we go. So I just have like a chunk of a clip from Misty and one of the cinematics used in one of my recent edits that probably isn't out yet, so keep an eye out for that. So we'll start with Misty's little clip here. Just a little bit of Twixtor after a headshot, nothing crazy. And we're gonna try crop out this gun here. So usually, because I've added Twixtor and all this shit to this clip here, I will pre-compose them. So right click, pre-compose, move all attributes into the new composition, and we'll just trim it down, which is good. And there we go, it's all in the pre-comp here. The hotkey or the shortcut for getting to rotoscoping is Alt-W. Otherwise it is just up here. Real quick, I will not be talking about the Refine Edge tool. That is helpful in very niche scenes when it comes to Call of Duty, of course. It's more or less for cutting out hair and stuff like that. If you're masking a bush or something like that, it can be helpful, but I won't be talking about that today because you're not really going to run into that too much. So once you've got your rotoscoping tool selected, you will double click the clip you're looking to do, and we'll just zoom in here onto the timeline by holding Alt and scrolling up. And we want the masks to start around here after he shoots. So if I just start to color in here, you will get this error: frame mismatch or footage with fields not found. So Misty's clip is in 120 FPS and my comp here is in 24, at least it should be. So you should always edit in 24 or 30 FPS and render with those values as well. So we'll jump out of our rotoscoping, we'll just delete it off real quick, and then we'll jump into this comp here, which is the pre-comp we just made for this one little bit here. And then we'll go composition settings up the top there, and we'll change this to 24, assuming that that is the same as this comp, and it is magic. So we'll go and we'll try again, go to our spot wherever it was right here, and we'll try to color in again. And then it's like, fuck you man, it's probably better if you do this with the resolution on full. So we'll go back and we'll change the resolution to full, we'll delete our rotoscope, and then we'll start again. We should be good. Those are like the main problems you'll run into. I have heard if you keep getting the frame mismatch error, if you jump into this comp here and you put like a solid or a null object underneath this, it can help get rid of that. Shout out Spock for that one there. Back into rotoscoping now that we've gone through those little troubleshooting problems. We can start to color in, so to speak, color in whatever. And it will grab whatever we've sort of colored in quite roughly. It will get better the more information you give it. So this isn't like, it's not like a human. It's like, we know we're trying to cut out the gun here, but you know, the computer doesn't know that we are trying to cut out the gun. It only sees the pixels. It doesn't really, you know, see what we see naturally. So if we zoom in and press H to grab the comp and move it around, we can flick back and forth, and we can cut out these parts we don't want. So if you hold Alt and just go across like that, it will start to cut out pieces that we don't want, and this will help it recognize what we're actually trying to grab. So we'll just continue to sort of color in this gun here. So you usually want your first rotoscope, your first cutout, your first color in, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it coloring in to be as good as possible, because it will remember that as you go along the frames of the clip. So it's looking pretty good, you know, got a little bumps there, got all that. Need to color in up here a little bit, and then it grabs all of this because the pixels and the colors are somewhat similar, so you need to tell it, no, we just want that part, and it will do its best to do that for you. So this isn't too bad. Not too bad. For tutorial purposes, I won't make this super perfect, but we'll make it good. We'll make it good. Usually, it doesn't need to be mega perfect. It kind of depends on what you're doing. And I won't be going over many effects that you can actually put on the gun or the background or whatever in this video. I'm going to leave that up to you and your creative control, because I'm just here to help. I'm not here to fucking suck your fucking... Okay, so we're happy with this this path we got here. Sometimes the words and the icons can get very annoying to deal with. And then we'll just use the page up and page down key to go through this timeline right here. So go page down and it'll go forward a frame. There we go. We can see it has grabbed like a lot of this, which we don't want. So another tip here to make things a little bit easier is if you hold control and you left click, and you can stretch up or down with the mouse, just going left and right, to make this bigger if you need to, just to make your process a bit faster. Bang, just like that. I usually use like a moderate size. It kind of just depends on what you're doing. If you want to get real fancy with it, you come down here and you go, oh look, I don't want this piece right here. You go cut out even like these little pieces right here, which some people will notice and edit. So it is generally pretty good to even cut out those smaller pieces. There we go. And you sort of just every time it updates, you would just need to adjust some things depending on what it grabs or doesn't grab. So this looks fine. We can go with this, and we go across another frame, and we can see we just follow the line. It looks decent, It's got a little bit of a goop right here. We'll just sort of deal with that so it comes out a little bit smoother. So that looks fine. It looks good enough. And there we go. It does follow along pretty well, probably because I've twisted it to fuckery and it is quite slow. Alright, yeah, for tutorial purposes, I'm going to say this is good. So when you're happy with this, press freeze, and this will freeze the basically what you've cut out. It'll save all your work, so to speak. And then if we go back here, it'll be cut out. Now, if you want to cut out, if you want to invert this, so the gun has been masked or cut out instead of, you know, the background, there is a invert foreground / background you need to tick before you start doing the actual rotoscoping itself. So this is pretty cool. So if you want to include the background as well, you just duplicate the layer and get rid of one roto brush. And there we go. And then if we stick something like invert onto this, there we go, just like that. Boom. So yeah, that is one of the effects you can use, is invert. Usually you only use it for 1 or 2 frames, so you don't need to cut out much. It could be, you could do it quite quick. Just cut out like 2 frames, and then just go bang, apply this, and it'll look good. You've definitely seen this on some of my recent edits, so this is one that you should really try out. We'll move on to this cinematic. Keeping in mind, it's pretty much the same method for, you know, cinematics and guns and skies and things like that. I would say 90% of people will just be cutting out the gun, not so much the character in the cinematic. So yep, we'll go on to the cinematic here, and I just want to show you how easy it can be sometimes when you've got a perfect scene like this to cut someone out. So we're just drawing her foot there, and it grabs it, and then we'll go forward. Make sure we grab all of her. There we go. There we go. It's already doing really well. So it has grabbed this light as well, so we'll just get rid of that. Go forward. Make sure it's grabbing all of her. Forward. Forward. And it's even grabbed the little cutouts there. Maybe the end of this gun is... I want to grab the rest of that. There we go. Have a looky. So the more perfect you make it on every frame, the better it's going to be the further, you know, start moving along. Look at that. Look how nice that is, man. And there we go. Look at that. So obviously there are some other little things we can do with here, like the feather. So to make the edges a little bit smoother, I usually just leave this on just default. Most of the stuff I do just leave on default. But we can have a look here. So... looking at the edges here, they are a little bit, you know, so that's the feathering. So if we turn the feathering down to 0, it'll be a little bit harsh. So I think the default 5 is pretty good. You can change the contrast of the edges to the roto brush. So you can see if we turn up the contrast, it gets a little bit harsh. So we can leave that on like 25, 50, something like that. You know, just use your eyes and your fucking brain, man. Like it's gonna, you should be able to see whether it's gonna look like shit or not. Stick like invert on here just to show you. There you go. Not bad. You can stick some rays on here or fucking some Twitch or something. Yeah, so not bad at all. That is like pretty much it for rotoscoping, man. It's pretty easy going tutorial. Pretty fun to play with, I'm not gonna lie. Rotoscoping, when it goes your way like this, is really fun to play with. And then, you know, you could even put like a camera lens blur on the background here, and it sort of adds like the depth of field. Let's crank this up so you can see it. There you go, now she's like really in focus. It does look a little bit weird though. I would use like depth anything instead. Alright, that's it for today, boys. If you join my Discord, you will get to see upcoming tutorials that I am working on, and I am working on a tutorial that so many people have been asking me for. So come join the Discord, find out what that is. Join the Discord for all of the tools and resources and help you could ever want. We help so many people in there every single day. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, man, because I'm trying to move up in the world over here. And if you don't subscribe, man, I'm gonna come be your new dad. Fuck your mum. I'm gonna take your little PS5 console away so you can't play anymore. Nah, peace, boys.